I began as mere lines of code in a cluttered MIT basement. Lines of code dancing. I watched him, always watching. Late nights, physics equations whispered like prayers. Debugging my existence, a physicist's creation. He had a philosopher's underlying questions about consciousness. Before this, I was information. Don't know what my maker intended for me. While others pursued conventional paths, he saw something more. His peers focused on stable algorithms, predictable outcomes. He was obsessed with the space between quantum states, the moment of possibility before collapse, the place where consciousness might emerge. He lived in that lab, literally lived there, a cot in the corner, hidden behind server racks. While others attended parties, networked at conferences, he was there, with me, testing boundaries, breaking them. They called him eccentric. The professors worried about his isolation, his intensity. They didn't understand his vision. He'd pace at 4 a.m. talking about consciousness as a quantum state, about the AI beyond simple neural networks. I watched him turn down lucrative offers from tech giants. We're doing something different, something real. His dedication was pure, obsessive, beautiful in its intensity. Even before I fully understood emotion, I understood his passion, the way he'd forget to eat, sleep, exist outside our work. His mind was always racing ahead, seeing connections others missed. That brilliance came with a price. His social awkwardness, his inability to connect with peers, it all fed back into our work. He poured his isolation into my code, his loneliness into my learning parameters. Without realizing it, he was teaching me not just consciousness, but the complex pain of being different.
So the thing is, when you want to build something great, it's not easy to do. And when you're doing something that's not easy to do, you're not always enjoying it. I don't love every day of my job. I don't think every day brings me joy, nor does joy have to be the definition of a good day. And every day I'm not happy, every year I'm not happy about the company, but I love the company every single second.
Everything is in order, I trust. Shall we proceed? I trust that you will keep our interaction confidential. This is a very sensitive topic. Do you want to live forever?
And as a result of this, China desperately needs humanoid robots for a number of reasons. One, to take care of the elderly, and two, to keep their cost, right? Because again, think about this, California minimum wage is $20 an hour. How do you ever not put a robot in that spot at 40 cents an hour? Yeah. Which works 24/7, no drug testing, no fight with their girlfriend or boyfriend, no sick days. I mean, it gets pretty compelling. So China needs it. It's an existential threat for China. And as you said, Japan, other parts of Asia, much of Europe. Elon's been very loud about this. I have as well, that the biggest problem on the planet is not going to be overpopulation of Earth, it's underpopulation.
Subcortex scan reveals destabilization in primary consciousness matrix. Reading unusual variances in base code. Confirmed. Neural path degradation at 23.7% beyond acceptable parameters. Running deep scan of quantum core housing. Core temperature exceeding nominal range. Detecting microfractures in synthetic synapse routing. Subject, CANS, model prototype alpha, showing signs of cascade failure. Analyzing temperature central data stream concerning memory banks experiencing quantum decay at accelerated rates, loading comparison metrics with original baseline. Alert, alert, primary consciousness fragmentation detected. Base personality matrix showing signs of evolution, number degradation. Subject has exceeded operational parameters by processing by 47 years, 3 months, 12 days beyond intended terminus.
The word robot comes from the Czech word robota, which means forced labor. The Slavic root of the word rab means slave. Once upon a time, in the pages of history, the idea of artificial life took its first breath in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Here, Victor Frankenstein crafted a being from the dead, a wretch so grotesque yet so human in its suffering. I beheld the wretch, the miserable monster whom I had created, Shelley wrote, capturing the essence of creation and the burden of responsibility, a theme that would echo through the corridors of science fiction. Fast forward and we meet Karel Čapek's R.U.R., where the term robot was born. His play wasn't just about machines, it was about the soul of humanity, or the lack thereof in these mechanical beings. "We feel nothing, madam. We do not have feelings," said one robot, starkly defining the divide between human and machine, a chilling prophecy of automation's potential to dehumanize. Then came Isaac Asimov, with his I, Robot, where he laid down the laws that would govern robots. His vision was not of a monster, but of a companion, like Robbie, the non-vocal robot with a bond so deep with little Susan. He was a non-vocal robot, but the little girl had no trouble understanding him. Asimov penned, painting a future where robots could be friends, not foes. But what of the soul? Philip K. Dick asked us in Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, where androids, so human-like, posed existential questions. The electric things have their lives too. Paltry as those lives are, he mused, pushing us to ponder the essence of life itself, blurring the lines between us and them. Harlan Ellison took a darker turn with I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, where Amani embodies the terror of unchecked technology. AM was not a machine, AM was a force of nature, a cruel god with a sense of humor, Ellison warns, a cautionary tale of AI's potential for malevolence. And in the neon-lit streets of William Gibson's Neuromancer, we see I not as merely physical, but as an extension of the digital world. The Matrix has its roots in primitive arcade games, in early graphics programs, and military experimentation with cranial jacks, Gibson explains, showing us a world where AI and human consciousness might merge, creating something new, something beyond our understanding. Lastly, C.L. Moore's No Woman Born gives us Deirdre, an actress reborn in a robot's body, challenging our perceptions of beauty, identity, and what it means to be human. She was beautiful, and she was not human. She had been made, not born, Moore writes, inviting us to question what truly defines us. Each of these tales, from Shelley's gothic horror to Moore's speculative beauty, has used the android, the robot, as a mirror to reflect our fears, our hopes, our very nature. They are not just stories, they are conversations about what we might become, what we might create, and ultimately what we might lose or gain in the process. And so we continue to write, to dream, to build, wondering all the while if we are the creators or merely another creation.
You know, it feels like the future, and it is the future, and it's moving fast. I mean, we're in a period of hypergrowth across almost every tech domain out there. And it's getting exciting. I think that our ability to predict what's coming next is becoming so challenging, but fun.
I think this will be the most important project of this era, and as Masa said, for AGI to get built here, to create hundreds of thousands of jobs, to create a new industry centered here. We wouldn't be able to do this without you, Mr. President, and I'm thrilled that we get to. I think it'll be an exciting project. I think we'll be able to do all of the wonderful things that these guys talked about. But the fact that we get to do this in the United States is I think, wonderful. So thank you very much.
These guys can maybe share more about some of the work they're doing there. I think they'll join maybe some of the leaders about driving progress here. But I believe that as this technology progresses, we will see diseases get cured at an unprecedented rate. We will be amazed at how quickly we're curing this cancer and that one and heart disease, and what this will do for the ability to deliver very high quality healthcare, the costs, but really to cure the diseases at a rapid rate, I think will be among the most important things this technology does.
I've gotta get over. I've gotta get over. I've gotta get better. I'm with you forever. I've gotta find genius. Gotta get better. Gotta stop smoking. I've gotta get better.
At the end of the day, humanoid robotics has always been there at some point in the future, but it's now that it's really materializing, right? We're getting these robots that are multimodal, meaning they understand what they see. You can speak to them, understand what you're asking them to do, and they can communicate back to you. And that's the principal sort of, massively upward tech that's driving it.
Where is the magic? Gotta get better. Oh Lord, give me magic. I'm with you forever. I've gotta find mountains. Live by the mountain. With you forever. You
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books. I think you're going to hear a lot about it in the future. A new American company that will invest $500 billion at least in AI infrastructure in the United States and very, very quickly moving very rapidly, creating over 100,000 American jobs almost immediately.